Hey guys, welcome back. It's Neom. We're going to talk about Viz Media creating their very first original animated series. They're calling it anime. I don't know if I would quite call it anime, but it's a very interesting move that Viz Media is actually creating their own content now. Now, the other day we did a video on Viz, how they're teaming up with Crunchyroll, and they could potentially be a threat to Funimation. They could potentially, maybe, at some point, get the Dragon Ball license, the toy licenses away from Funimation, because Viz already publishes the manga, and they've already got a pretty decent history dubbing anime series. They haven't done a lot, but they've done them, and some of the ones they've done have been, you know, fairly successful. Obviously, Naruto, Boruto, etc., etc. So yesterday, word got out that Viz is creating their own original anime. I'm doing air quotes, anime content for Netflix. So we're going to talk about that in this video, kind of what that means, you know, what exactly is going on here with animation and anime and the streaming wars, which are becoming hugely important to, I think, the future of animation and just the future of TV in general. So before we get into the video, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on Clownfish TV. We're almost at 60,000 subs. Almost. We're a couple hundred away from 60,000. We'd love to hit 100,000 by the end of the year. Keep bringing you guys content. Thank you so much for the support. We really mean that. We really do mean that. We never thought we'd even be as far as we are now when we started doing this about a year ago. So thank you, everybody. So this version of the story coming from Animation Magazine, there are a couple other versions out there too. Viz Media is creating their own animated series in conjunction with Netflix and Powerhouse Animation. Now, Powerhouse did the Castlevania animated series. Powerhouse is also doing the upcoming Masters of the Universe series for Netflix. So this is interesting because I think this art style could potentially be what we're looking at, for the Masters of the Universe series, which I don't think I would consider it anime, but it is kind of anime influenced, and it is kind of a throwback to the Mike Young style of He-Man from 2002. So that, you know, is very interesting. Okay, so let's talk about this. It's seis manos, which means 6 hands in Spanish, and it looks like they have 3 lead characters. 1, 2, 3, I think, or they have 6 characters. I don't know. I was thinking 3 characters, 2 hands each. Yeah, three characters, 2 hands each. There's where you get your seis manos. But it looks like we got a couple other characters too. So I don't know. It's interesting. It kind of looks like a Quentin Tarantino kind of a thing, done in animated style. It's very retro. I agree with that. Looks like it's from the 70s or early 80s. Not exactly sure when it's set, but let's look at this. Let's look at this. So Viz Media, Netflix, and Powerhouse Animation Studios announced that the anime style, at least they're saying it's anime style series, Seis Manos, will launch globally on Netflix on Thursday, October 3rd. All 8 episodes will premiere with English and Spanish audio and multiple subtitled language options. Seis Manos is Viz Media's first original animated property and was developed and produced with Powerhouse Animation, who does Castlevania. So here is more information on it. Seis Manos offers the very best in storytelling and action with an incredible voice cast and unique Latin American storyline rarely seen in animation. Yeah, I'm trying to think back, other than like Dora the Explorer or something. You know, it's there really aren't a lot of animated series that feature predominantly Latin American cast. Said Brad Woods, Chief Marketing Officer of Viz Media. We're thrilled to partner with Netflix and Powerhouse to share this incredible new series with fans. Set in Mexico in the 70s. Okay, it looked like the 70s. Seis Manos centers on 3 orphaned martial arts warriors who join forces with a DEA agent and a Mexican federale to battle for justice after their beloved mentor is murdered in their tiny border town. So they have a pretty notable cast. It says it's a co-production between Viz Media and Powerhouse and will stream worldwide exclusively on Netflix. So it was actually co-created by Powerhouse Animation Studios CEO Brad Graber and Alvaro Rodriguez. Machete from Dusk Till Dawn. Okay, so this makes sense. Yeah, it looks like Machete. Looks like a Quentin Tarantino movie from Dusk Till Dawn. Makes sense. Makes sense. So, and then we have somebody from Captain Underpants. I don't know. Go figure. I do not believe that this is anime. And apparently it was announced at San Diego Comic-Con. It got buried. Somehow it got buried in all the other news. This is kind of notable for a couple reasons.